Marketing Mystery, the podcast brought to you by MarkArena, the marketing society of Sri Aurobindo College, where we explore the intricacies of navigating a career in marketing. I am your host Mehak Gupta, and in today's episode, we have the privilege of speaking with Varda Sardana ma'am, a seasoned marketing professional in the field of marketing. She is a renowned TEDx speaker and has served as an assistant professor at SRCC and has currently engaged with PGDM students at Jaipuria Institute of Management. It was pleasure to have you on the show, ma'am. Welcome to the podcast. Ma'am, as you have achieved success in both academics and public speaking as well. So, what are some key lessons that you want to share with the students for the personal branding or the self promotion?
I think one of the most important lesson that I've got and I would like to share with everyone is that personal branding and self promotion is very underrated. These tools have so much potential, and just people who realize the potential of these tools are using them. But there are so many people, so many students who are still running away from it because of multiple reasons. Some of the students, some of the people believe that self branding, self promotion is like bragging, right? And that's something that they don't want to do. You brag about yourself, but that's not true. Self promotion is bragging only when you're exaggerating. But if you're telling about yourself to the audience, all those things which are actually true, right? So let's assume you are just good at painting, or if you're just good at public speaking, and you just like to share experiences of your previous public speaking exposures with the audience. It's not bragging. You are actually doing something which you are an expert in, or in which you are evolving, and it's helping out the audience who's actually looking forward to your experiences. Number one. Number two is actually also helping you out as well. I've seen so many people who just do nothing. They just share the experiences of maybe moving from one city to another, and which experiences of maybe taking admission in a particular college and what they're experiencing or they are learning at a college. And just by sharing these things, they are actually building a brand for themselves. They are doing themselves a favor by letting people know that, see, I have such huge bhandar of experiences from which you can learn from. And they're also benefiting their audiences who find all of these experiences relatable, right? So branding, personal branding and self promotion is a tool which you should definitely explore. And if you're not sure how to start, pick any platform, pick any social media platform to start from, and then explore how people are doing it. I can take an entire session on how to leverage different platforms for the purpose of self promotion or personal branding, but I think we'll restrict it here. I'll restrict it to this lesson, that please use the power of personal branding. Please do not ignore it.
Social media platforms. So, ma'am, the next question is related to this. Like, could you please brief us about how students can leverage social media platforms for the purpose of professional networking or the profile building?
Okay. So since you talked about networking and profile building, so obviously I'll talk about one platform which allows you to do these things along with personal branding, which is obviously LinkedIn. That's how you contacted me as well. So LinkedIn is one such platform. If you know other such platforms, definitely you should go ahead. But LinkedIn is one such platform which is very famous, which is being actually used now not only by people who want to network, but also by people who want to spread their presence A lot of influencers I know who have actually started with Instagram or with YouTube, and now they're expanding to LinkedIn as well, because they understand that if they want to increase their network connectivity and reach, then LinkedIn also offers you that platform. So if you are on LinkedIn, great. If you are not on LinkedIn, please start with building a profile. Make an account on LinkedIn, and there will be innumerable videos. If you go to YouTube and you just type how to build your profile on LinkedIn, or how to make a LinkedIn account, or how to reach out to people via LinkedIn, you'll get number of videos which tell you in a very expert manner. Experts who are better than me, I'm not an expert by the way, but people who are an expert in this field, they are going to tell all of you, right? uh, as far as networking is concerned, it is a very great tool to network, only if you are willing to use it in that way. You should not just use a platform to come, log in and stalk and read. If you like something, if you read something and you find it relatable, and you find, oh my god, this is a great lesson, comment. Commenting on others post does not make you small. It actually tells the other person that you're interested, and that also allows you to build a connection with them. If you randomly send requests to people on LinkedIn or a channel like Instagram, there's a very small probability that people are going to accept that connection request. You need to engage with them before other people can engage with you. You need to show that you are interested, and you need to engage with the post of people. If you find them actually interesting and relatable, engage, and that is the first step to building connections. Then you build a connection, and then you network, right? Whenever you're reaching out to somebody, whenever you're reaching out to somebody, simple teacher. Okay, just be professional. That's the first rule of a platform like LinkedIn. And eventually, when you read other people's approach, you will learn. It's a very slow process. People just start with posting, but I tell them, do not start with posting on LinkedIn. Start with engaging with other people's post on LinkedIn, if you find that those posts are actually interesting, relatable, and enriching for you. That's the first step. And then you start, then you just enter the flow. Okay, so the advice to students who are looking ahead to make their career in marketing would be that if you want to excel in this field, you will have to become a student again, right? You will have to, when I say you have to become a student, it means that you don't have to ever stop learning. The simple reason for this is that the market is continuously evolving. And when I say the market is evolving, it simply means that the consumers' preferences, consumers' taste is evolving. What I like as a consumer would be very different from what you like as a consumer, because our generations, there's got to be a generation gap. So if you are targeting any kind of generation, if your products and services are also generation specific, even in that case, you have to continuously be creative in your approach. For example, if I talk about the Gen Z, the current generation, they like to be involved in everything, right? Their attention span is very less, and they want to be involved in everything. Now, what you do as a marketer is you involve the people, the audience, the Gen Z in your marketing campaigns. So, for example, there was a very interesting marketing campaign launched by Lay's, wherein it asked people to send their smiles with teeth showing, right? To click a picture and send their lower part of their, face, which showed their smile. And the best ones, or the ones that is picked up by the panelist, would then be put on the Lay's packet. If I'm not, using the name of the brand. So they used to put it on the packet. Now this is what the people want. The Gen Z got so engaged with clicking pictures, sending across their entries, and so hyped by this entire idea that the smile is going to be there on the packet of Lay's, and then it's going to be distributed across the entire nation. It was so engaging, and it was a very creative idea. So you need to constantly be creative, and not only creative in your own minds, but also by seeing that how it will engage the the audience that you're trying to target, because this is what the people want. They want to be part of the campaigns. Only when they're part of the campaigns they will feel relatable, they will relate with the product, and their loyalty would also increase. So if you are trying to pursue a career and you want to get ahead in the industry, not only use the social media. Obviously you should use the social media to the best possible capacity, that's the rule number one. But remember that your audience is continuously evolving, and you need to know their taste, their preferences, and not only that, you need to engage them in your entire campaign. Try to become as personalized as possible, but if that's not your cup of tea, it's perfectly fine. Just keep coming up with something which builds the hype. And there are ample number of case studies, there are ample examples of such marketing campaigns which just build the hype. And the hype is something which led to, although those hypes were short lived, but that short lived hype also enabled the marketers and the brand to reach great heights, and stay there for quite some time.
Okay, so ma'am, coming towards the end, the one question that I want to ask is, what is a question that you rarely get asked, but you wish that people ask about that question, about the career or your marketing?
Okay, so one question which I think I wait for people to ask me, but I rarely get asked. It's about my career. And it's that, what are the challenges or the problems in this career path? A lot of people ask that how can we get into academia, how can we become a teacher, how can we become a professor, what are the perks that you get, and how easy is the life, how many number of hours are you supposed to teach, then are you back at home by 2 p.m., right? Is it a flexible system, and how to get such a kind of work life balance. So people believe that this profession and academia is so goody goody, and it has all the perks. That is true to some extent, but then there are so many challenges that people are not able to see, because when we as academicians go into the classroom, we always put a good face. We are required to, and it's a responsibility to always smile and put a good face and show the right type of path to the students, show the kind of guidance and give them that kind of knowledge in the class. But a lot of things go behind the scene, a lot of midnight oils are burned, because we need to continuously evolve ourselves as well. A teacher never stops learning, right? A teacher never stops being a student. So there are multiple challenges, multiple problems, multiple issues that plague this career path as well. But people are not aware about this, and therefore people believe that there must not be any challenges, and they steer clear of this question. So that's, I have never heard any student ask me this question. Maybe one or two, just to try to break the ice, but then that has never been a serious question that I have been asked about my career.
Okay. So, ma'am, as you shared about the challenges that you face in your career, so just like this, what challenges or what problems that you think that people usually face in the career of marketing?
In the career of marketing, so I've seen students who want to pursue a career in marketing, and one biggest problem that they face, one biggest challenge they face is when they want to enter into core marketing, they are offered roles into sales. And again, that's something that they run away from, right? I've got students who keep telling me that, ma'am, I want to really pursue a career in marketing. I like to engage with the audience. I like to think about creative ideas. But then the roles that are coming my way are not core marketing roles, but they are more of sales roles. So that is true. And some people blame it on the industry, that companies want to hire salesmen or salesperson and not core marketers. But marketers or students who are entering into this career need to understand one thing, that you just do not enter into the marketing domain afresh from the marketing arena itself, right? You need to build certain skills, and to be able to build those skills, it is essential that you first have a taste of sales as well. Whether it's telephonic sales, whether it's on ground sales, whether it's just crunching numbers related to sales, whatever kind of sales is there, you need to first get that skill to be able to become a marketer, right? Just like you first need to be a student yourself to become a teacher, you first need to understand the mentality of a student to be able to become a good teacher and then guide them. It is essential that you first become good at sales, whatever kinds of sales that is, in order to become a good marketer. You are eventually going to rise the ladder. So that is a problem. The students believe that no, sales and marketing are two different things. If I want marketing, it has to be core marketing. It has nothing to do with sales. That's wrong. That's it's very difficult to get in the industry without the right kind of expertise to directly get into core marketing. You have to. Everyone I know, everyone who's rose up to that level has gone through this path, and it's a learning process. So you do not have to shy away from it, but you have to accept and embrace and consider that as a challenge, and then you are sure to rise in your marketing careers.
Okay, that's a great advice, ma'am. So, ma'am, as we usually see that we get a lot of theoretical knowledge about marketing from the books itself. But how do you think how important it is for students to gain practical exposure or do internships or live projects if they wanted to make the career in marketing?
I think this is not only true for marketing but for any domain. You get all kind of theoretical knowledge, specifically if you are studying any subject at the undergraduate level. You get all sorts of theoretical knowledge, and then you're tested on that knowledge. Practical knowledge through internships, through life projects, and any kind of group project is essential for any domain and not just marketing. Because as I said, you do not get educated just so that you can get marks. You are getting educated so that you can enter the industry, enter the corporate, or set up your own business, join an organization where you can contribute. And you will know what to contribute only if you have the practical exposure, right? So before you get shocked while entering into the workforce, having a bare minimum exposure through internships and live projects is a must, because then you get a taste about your audience, about your consumers, and also about the kind of people you will be working in, right? It's as a marketer, it's not just important to understand your customers. You will be working with an entire team. You will be getting inputs not only from your consumer research team but also from the finance team. You're going to get inputs from your research and development team. You're going to get inputs from your production team. And as a marketer, you have to balance out every department's and every team's views, and also your own team's creative views, to be able to create a campaign, to be able to reach out to your audience. And until and unless you know how to work in a team, in a real setup where there are so many people with different opinions, and then you have your customers also whose preferences are continuously changing, until and unless you have that exposure, you won't be able to survive in the industry, right? In that case, education, your theoretical education will fail. So definitely practical knowledge is very much important in every domain, whether it be marketing, finance, HR. And please, whenever you get the opportunity, you should definitely go ahead and grab that. Even if you're not being offered opportunities, put everything, your heart and soul, into grabbing such an opportunity. It's going to add a lot in your exposure experience, and it's going to mold your personality like no other classroom experience can.
So, ma'am, at last, as a professor, what is that one advice that you want to give this young generation?
Okay, as a professor, um see, today's generation has a very short attention span. I've already pointed that out. They also want instant gratification, which is, and the current generation is also very ambitious, right? There are multiple good things about this current generation. They are visionaries, they're ambitious, they think big, they want big, they have great ideas, but then they want all of that in a short span of time. They want instant gratification, and they're always also willing to fight for that if that doesn't come their way. So the only advice I would like to give them is that, as a professor strictly, is that whenever you are learning, right, whenever you are sitting in a classroom and you are made to learn, you are being offered something, it is very easier for you to get distracted because you have your phones, you have the people around you who have multiple things to share with you, so there are multiple points of distraction with you. But right now, if you are sitting somewhere, if you're listening to something which you think is going to be important either for your assessments or for your career, do not let that time get wasted, right? I've seen so many students from the current generation panic later, right, because they were not paying attention to something, some important listening material or some important course at that point of time. So they panic later that now we'll have to go back, we'll have to watch the videos, we'll have to put the professor, we'll have to relearn again, or we'll have to sit with our groups or our classmates and then learn. So you wasted time when you were actually supposed to study and listen, and then now you're wasting time again when you're in a panicky situation. So try to live in the present. I know it's difficult because the distractions that are there, but just try to train your mind to live in the present, to listen to whatever is happening in your surroundings in the present, because if you do not, that is double the time wasted. Time wasted right now, time wasted in the future to revisit what you were supposed to learn in the past. So again, it's easier said than done. We all have been in that situation. But if you're able to train your mind, eyes and ears to be present, focus fully in the present, you can save a lot of time for yourself, a lot of energy for yourself, and you can make the best of your resources in that way.
That's it from my side, ma'am. It was a pleasure to have you on our show, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights and expertise with us on navigating a career in marketing. It was a huge pleasure to have you on this show. Thank you so much, ma'am.
It was great interacting. Thank you so much, Mehak.
To our listeners, we hope that you found this session informative and innovative. Stay tuned for more sessions of Marketing Mystery where we explore the dynamic field of marketing. Don't forget to subscribe and share your feedback with us. Until next time, keep mastering marketing.